Hello and welcome to another Near Running Cast. As always, my name is Johno and I'm joined by Jerry. How you doing, Jerry?
Not too bad, thank you.
And today we have footage from the Oxford Regional. This is round 5, game 1. We're on top table. So I actually misspoke at the end of our previous video. This is not the advertised matchup where Kester was playing Cork. But in fact, Kester is playing on the left, is playing his Valencia deck. So I have the perfect co-commentator.
So Valencia on top table, I'd like to meet. Not me, I was also on bottom table. That's
true,
the thing with Valencia.
yeah.
One on bottom table, one on top table. But yeah, very happy to see Valencia up here.
And Kate's playing NEH. Sorry, Kate. James is playing NEH and Kate. But NEH at the moment.
He's just morphed into Kate in your mind now.
He has. Oh, yeah. They're both mulligans. Is that important? Maybe it's not.
Ice sweeps week. Don't think it mattered too much for NEH.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I guess this might be a leading question, but and it depends on the build. What might you mulligan for in Valencia? Blackmails?
So
is that too basic?
The blackmails will come. It depends on your thing. Like I'm mulliganing for Page or Opus in my build, but I think Kester was playing Desperado possibly, which anyone playing Desperado would like a Desperado early.
Yeah, right,
and
sure.
yeah, but
especially out of faction because you probably don't have a lot of them.
see Page, yeah. So mulligan for Page.
Page.
I know. I chatted to Kester a bit about this build. He's also a fan of Page in Valencia.
Yeah, Page's quite good. It
mitigates the 50 cards. Like already that he's had 3 cards like taken out. That's.
Do you have a lot of unique cards then? I've also seen Page used in noise builds where there's Aesops and wild sides and all kinds of extra that you only got one of and you just want to get rid of the trash.
I prefer it for things that you only want one of, like your console, and you filter out the other 2. In 50 cards, if you want to see your console, you're going to run 3 of them.
Yeah, okay.
So I think it really helps thin the deck down. And once Valencia's going, she's got money and a breaker and a blackmail. You don't need anything else.
Yeah, okay.
So you've got to assume eat a keyhole as well.
You've got to be prepared for that for sure.
This is the most common thing you'll see in Val. And there we go.
So the train's leaving the station.
So we know where James's influence has gone.
So yeah, biotics, and it is an Astro. So that's worst case. It's pretty bad.
But he's on 2 credits. He gets the Desperado down. This is where you. This is where it's weakest.
Do you check the centrals like hit R&D? It looks like Kester's more eager to continue setting up. So he's got his Desperado.
He's paging away the Desperado. So as mentioned, so there's 3 Desperados. So that's a lot of the influence. I think the thing that James has done now, though, by using Biotic Labour and scoring Astro Script, he said this is not Butcher Shop. There is no green cards in my deck. And that's giving Kester permission to go as hard and as fast as he can.
And not worry about Seesaws.
Yeah,
that's true.
So that's the...
there's
a blackmail. Who knew?
Better reshuffle that deck just to...
Yeah. So I think the tough thing with playing NEH now is knowing which of the sort of types it is. Is it Astrobiotics? Is it Grail Ice?
Yeah.
Or is it going to kill you?
Although Grail Ice is quite good at supporting other builds. I guess his influence that you don't want to spend.
So he gets in with only 2 credits. He can't res, or he can and chooses not to.
Yeah.
Gets Desperado credit. Cyberdex.
So I guess he doesn't.
That.
Yeah, it's a tough decision. He can trash it with the bad pub as well, of course. So you might as well.
Itchy. I know James is a big fan of Itchy.
Itchy's good influence. I think he got that from maybe. I know he liked the include based on Neil. Played it in the Neil who won the Oxford Store Championship in our previous videos. He had Itchy in his NEH build, and I agree. Actually, I really like it on R&D. It's really taxing, and it asks questions and punishes if the runner's not ready for it.
For sure. I was running one in HB, but I've gone back over to Architects and a next gold.
My MBN I've been playing recently has Architect and Itchy actually.
So there's a keyhole in hand, which obviously there's another ice out now, so he'll need the Eater.
He needs the Eater, yeah. But I've had worse who'll help him find it maybe.
But it doesn't get the lock on, and that's what you need against this right now to stop the Astro train coming.
So did you play Kester on the day?
I did not play Kester on the day. I played Kester in the London Regional the week before, and I played him in Quinn's tournament.
So were these decks the same? Do you know?
I think he changed his Valencia deck. He did play Valencia in London. We talked a lot about Valencia, obviously, at the time and again today, on this day. But it's similar stuff. You know, you want to get Eater Keyhole for central pressure, and you've always got Blackmail for remote pressure. The reason I think I did so well with Valencia in London was I saw something like 5 RP and no NEH.
People weren't ready for it.
No one was running NEH. They were like, oh, clot's here, it's dead.
Okay.
Regional today at Oxford, a lot of NEH.
Yeah.
It's not the meta for Valencia to do well. So
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
so this is not a good matchup. Because blackmail is if they're not going to create a remote, then blackmail is no good.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess if you're going for a keyhole, you can blackmail archives. Maybe that's
you can blackmail archives, yeah. Like that is if you've got Ether and you can't actually access archives, then blackmail is great for archives. But the reason Valencia slows most corps down is because they're always too scared to score out of a remote, and that just doesn't happen with NEH. So
yeah, I mean, he's running very rigless at the moment. He's Kester. He's a day suck. I mean, he has Desperado, and that's it. So he's just kind of is he trying to keep it in the early game? Just keep the pressure up before Ice gets raised. So he's got a vamp,
some
2 parasites. I've had worse. Yeah.
So you mean?
So
Anarch tends to run low on rig anyway. As I said, you could have a Crypsis or an Eater, and you have Parasite and Data Sucker. So there's not much of the rig, but he does need some way of getting through ice. Parasite, Data Sucker's not going to help if he comes up against a wraparound.
Yeah.
Which you have to assume there is. Not just in NEH and almost anyone now, but for this sort of Anarch play where you don't have a Corroder. But you have to say right now, James can keep Kester out of R&D, then this is just a case of draw and find, and he continues to show up. He has 10 credits. He only needs 2 to score.
That's right, and he can res at least one of these 2 pieces of ice. I mean, so do we think? Do you think he put an Itchy down? We know we saw an Itchy early. He might have put an Itchy on R&D. So maybe Kester's worried about that.
At least you can click through the Itchy. Parasite's pop-up window.
So Parasite's pop-up. I don't know. Do we like that? I mean, I guess it costs you a credit each time, but you've got the bad pub, so you don't worry too much about it. But
and I mean, you have to assume clone chips maybe, and so there's the Itchy.
So there is an Itchy, but he ran on click. Oh no, he ran on click 3.
But he's just letting it fire.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only losing a Data Sucker.
So he paid the bad pop to beat the Trace, which James didn't boost. So there's another pop-up, so he can pay 1 for that.
He scores.
He does still a breaking news. It's not the one you want though, is it?
No, but that's just one more agenda James has to find now, so it does buy you some time.
That's true.
I mean, 3 Astros and you still need a last point.
So he runs R&D again, which I like, because he can run through Itchy now with impunity. It's basically blank. If James is going to boost the Trace. So it's sweet, okay. So
that's one way to beat an Itchy.
So he knows he's not going to top deck agenda.
You have to assume
he draws all the way
ice is going
through.
to come down now. There's the other breaking news. So
we found the breaking news.
Hedge fund.
So I guess we'll see him score breaking news next turn. There's no reason not to, unless he draws an Astro.
Yeah.
So Lotus and HQ. So
again, Lotus Field.
Yeah, well,
another game with Lotus Field.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So NEH is definitely asking questions that Kester's kind of struggling to answer here. So Deja Vu. So what's he going to get?
Data Sucker Parasite. Definitely a Parasite. 2 Parasites.
2 Parasites. Okay.
Yeah.
So Itchy and pop up. Oh, you obviously can't.
Well, you can't Parasite
Lotus.
Field. Yeah.
I mean, if you just trash pop up, you can just walk through Itchy though.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he drops the keyhole. Well, he's got 3 credits, but
you can't keyhole through Itchy.
Sure. Yeah. Then it becomes a problem. You need 2 clicks as well. No, he just try and get the lock on.
He can always check as well.
So he doesn't check this turn and sees a Sansan.
So he's got the breaking news in by the look of it. Yeah. So that's the odd agenda.
Yeah.
To get up to 7. So
he needs 1 more Sansan and then anything after that.
That's it.
So all Kester can really do now is check R&D once and then continue to set up. But as you mentioned, if he puts any program down, he has to then worry about Itchy again.
So he parasites the Itchy. Presumably he lost his Data Sucker earlier. So unless he's got one in hand, or he's playing the waiting game, he might not have
well,
time
he
for
could
that.
always, if he had one in hand, he could drop one down, run archives 3 times, run in. Blow it up next turn.
James has just dropped a remote and then moneyed up. So I guess we assume that's the Sansan. Kind of has to be.
Which I mean, do you
Ice's
trash or
R&D.
do you not trash now? I don't know.
You got the Astro on the table,
Astro
so
token.
it all depends on if the next agenda James draws is Astro or Beal, I guess.
He's only got 7 credits. I think without an imp, the money's better than trashing the Sansan right now for Kester. He's got a.
He's short on money.
At least he gets a credit for checking it.
Yeah, and he can use the bad pub. He can use the bad pub as well. So he could run it. He could kill it on his next run. He could get credit.
He could, but I think you try and get them before James gets them right now.
Okay, so it's hacktivist meeting instead. So that makes it tougher for James to res it, but it doesn't. He can still install. He can res it last thing. So it's not.
Still lose a card, yeah.
But it's not great anti Sansan play. So he installs on the Sansan and then plays shit from Sansan. So all the cards that he cares about are out of his hand.
And
he just loses.
So he takes a hit from.
He'll lose one, but if he hasn't got more than one agenda, then it's fine. And we assume he hasn't, otherwise he would have been scoring them out, right? So
I like that play because you've got to assume as well Jackson coming down and Jackson drawing, and that would have been good for Hacktivist. Makes you less likely Jackson draw, but obviously it didn't last long.
Yeah. So it was a Beal though, not Astro. Not the end of the world, but it means that.
I think if it's an Astro, you don't go down on 1 credit. You just Astro train.
You think?
You don't use.
I mean, because with the 2 counters, you could draw.
And with the 1 credit, you could suddenly get very porous and lose the game. I think.
He, Sweep Swick exists. I know we've seen a couple, so he might. You can get back up from 1. So he's got another Sansan in hand. Biotic.
And a Biotic Labour, yeah. So
he can't afford that though.
You have to get the R&D lock on now. Take credits. He's just waiting now. So
he wants to get up. First of all, he wants to have enough to score the Astro if he top decks it, and then if he doesn't, he wants to get enough to Biotic the Astro, and then he can start drawing. So if you're in Kester's position now, what do you do?
I would run R&D.
You've got to lock R&D, right? You want to.
Because he's got 3 credits. I mean, he might as a wrap around. You still haven't got any programs out, so Itchy's still fine.
Well, he's just going to die in a second.
Yeah, but
you've
got to check it this turn.
Check it.
Or if not, make him poor enough to not be able to score next turn. If he reses, say, a wraparound.
That's true, yeah. If you make him res it. Yeah, so there's the Astro.
And he top decks the Astro.
That's it, yeah.
And,
And he walks it out. So, a lesson in NBN. I mean, James is very good. He's played this deck a lot. And he
has played this deck a lot. The deck's strong, but I think
I feel like NBN, more than, say, Kate, which is the other deck that's very strong at the moment that he plays, NBN kind of pilots itself a little bit. Like, there's obvious decisions.
The choice to bring it today is a big choice. I mean, Clot is out.
Yeah, we saw Cyberdeck, so he did change it for that.
Butcher Shop has been the more dominant since Breaker Bay. But you bring Astrobotics, there wasn't much Clot on the table. I think James may have seen 1 or 2 Clots all day, and he made the right meta call. Yes, it pilots itself, but you still have to. It's a total different scoring window, and obviously, you still have to make risks though. Especially the scoring the first Astro script is so important. And
yeah, you want to get.
Are you willing to just put it behind like a Quandary and put it down and pass the turn in order to get that train going, or are you going to wait for Biotic Labour and 8 credits and?
I've gained a new appreciation for on the runner side. Just pressuring R&D hard early on because you want to see as many cards as you can early on before they're kind of set up.
Yeah.
Because you want to get at least 1 Astro. If you can disrupt the train at all, it's really crucial to do it.
And also if they're going to use Biotic Labour or Sansan to score that first Astro script, then they get very poor, and then you're more likely to get the lock on, and it takes them a hit backwards. Shipment from Sansan helps. That's in nowadays.
Good card, and it avoids Clot. Yeah.
Clot tech, but it also means you can score with 0 credits if you've got if you've got Sansan or a token.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see a few decks from this day actually that had a few NBN decks that had really interesting anti-Clot tech, and I mean Chip from Sansan and Cyber decks. It's definitely one way of doing it.
The other one's Trick of Light. I've seen a lot of people playing Trick of Light, but I prefer the Sansan, the shipment from Sansan.
Yeah, well, without giving it away, we'll see some Trick of Light for sure. I think that's after the cut.
It just needs too much other pieces. It's influence, which you do have 17, but that do you lose a Biotic to put them in, and then and then it also means you've got to have advanceable things to Trick of Light off, which is more influence. I just think
that fits in the taxing R&D ice category. Anyway, so. I don't know. Valencia didn't really take off. We didn't actually even get a good flavour of what Valencia was trying to do in that game.
I think what she was trying to do is eat a keyhole, remote pressure with blackmail, as I said,
That's a bad matchup.
Valencia is always going to be a sort of big rig style, isn't she? She's going to need a few pieces to put the pressure on, unless it's in a remote. And if you're playing NBN that don't make remotes, then you're gonna fall down. Like, great matchup against RP. Okay matchup against Glacier, HB and Wayland. But NBN is a problem. So the window between people being scared of Clot and 2 weeks later when they realised it wasn't a big problem,
it's very
it
small.
was Valencia's window, which unfortunately
it's too late.
Kester,
Okay, so anyway, they'll flip round and we'll see them in the next video. So it'll still be Kester and James. This time it will be, as one I promised last time incorrectly, this time it will be James's Kate against Kester's Engineer in the Future. So, yeah, I look forward to that one actually. I think, Kate, there was a lot of Kate, but we didn't get a lot of HB on the day, so it'll be good.
HB ETF was actually the most represented ID
all
day. Yeah, so I remember turning up.
I was ID?
Yeah, it was the most represented.
Was HB more common than NBN?
Yes, I think so.
Generally? Oh, right, interesting. I didn't realise that. I played a lot of Blue Sun, like 4 of my 6 games of Blue Sun, which was awful for my deck.
I think it was similar. A lot of tournaments recently, people have been looking at ETF and going, "This is a really good ID. Why is it not phenomenal?" And it's sort of seeing a lot of play because people don't know where to turn.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. So thanks, Joey.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.